everyone present here. Today we have gathered here for a mock parliament session to incite all of you about the proceedings of the parliament. So generally, we do not read about the parliament in the newspapers until there is a clash between the ruling party and the opposition party or a budget session. But in fact, the parliament is the temple of democracy, so it is very important for us to know about it. So now let us know about the parliament. The Parliament of India, as per the Constitution of India, consists of 2 houses and 1 president. These 2 houses are Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha, or the upper house, is also known as the Council of States, and the Lok Sabha, or the lower house, is also known as the House of the People. These 2 houses mainly has the function of making laws. Each and every bill must be passed by these 2 houses and must be signed by the President to become a law. The topics over which the Parliament can have legislation upon are defence, banking, income tax, foreign affairs, etc. Now let us know about the function of the Parliament. So the main function of the Parliament is to select the national government who would control, guide, inform the government as well as make laws. Each of these 2 houses of the Parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, consist of 2 leaders, one from the opposition party and one from the ruling party. The role of the Speaker and his deputies is also very important in the Parliament sessions. So now I hope all of you have got a good dose of information about the Parliament. So now let us proceed with the next level of activities without any further delay of this mock Parliament session. Thank you.
Honorable members, Honorable Speaker is on the way.
Members of the Parliament, kindly take your seats. Good morning to all of you. I welcome all of you to the monsoon session of the Youth Parliament. Members to take oath and affirmation, I request the Secretary General to guide you to the needful.
Aditi Shukla, who has been elected from the Doivo constituency of the state of Arunachal Pradesh, shall now take oath or affirmation. Aditi Shukla, I request you to please come and complete the formalities. Ma'am, would you like to take oath or affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language would you like to take oath?
Hindi, please.
मैं अदिति जो लोकसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाली हूँ उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वाह करूंगी।
Who has been elected from the Shilchar constituency of the state of Assam shall now take over affirmation. Olina Chakraborty, I request you to please come and complete the formalities. Ma'am, would you like to take over affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language would you like to take oath?
English, please.
I, Orina Chakraborty, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of my country, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Who has been elected from the Rajkot constituency of the state of Gujarat, shall now take over affirmation. Ayush Chakraborty, I request you to please come and complete the formalities. Sir, would you like to take over affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language would you like to take oath?
English, please. I, Ayush Chakraborty, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of my country, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty about which I am about to enter. Thank you.
Who has been elected from the Sirampur constituency of the state of West Bengal, shall now take over affirmation. Aliya Salgupta, I request you to please come and complete the formalities. Ma'am, would you like to take over affirmation?
I would like to take over.
In which language would you like to take over?
English, please. I, Aliya Salgupta, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of my country, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
Who has been elected from the Konnagar constituency of the state of Kerala, shall now take over affirmation. Ahiri Das, I request you to please come and complete the formalities. Ma'am, would you like to take over affirmation?
I would like to take oath.
In which language would you like to take over?
I, Ahiri Das, having been elected as a member of the lower house of the Youth Parliament, do swear in the name of God that I shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of my country, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
The question hour shall commence. Ms. Tanishka Maini, please.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker Ma'am and my esteemed colleagues. Today we would like to bring about the discussion on importance of internet in providing education. The Corona period has set up a clear picture that internet is an indispensable component for providing education in the form of online classes and meeting if such a condition may arise again. So, does that mean by not providing free internet, the ruling party is not giving due importance to the literacy rates of our country? Thank you.
Mr. Ayush Basu.
A very good morning to the respected Speaker Ma'am and Honorable present here. Firstly, I would like to assert that our party does not mean to ignore the literacy rate. We have already taken many steps to ensure that every child gets access to proper education. Secondly, I would like to say that an increase in crime rates and wicked habits will lead to social destruction if internet is made free. our internet providers will also suffer from a major loss, and this will affect our economy. Making internet free may sound like a good idea, but in the long run, it will definitely be harmful for our citizens and the country. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Ma'am, and all present in the Assembly. I would like to say that free internet does not only provide consumer satisfactory results, but also can be used to reap profits. There are numerous ways in which money can be made even from free internet. This shall lead to economic growth, and I think that the ruling party has no idea about this. Thank you.
Good morning, respected Speaker, Ma'am, and everyone present here. So, given the ways of your party, I think the ways of earning money you talk about is only a dirty dream. An inclusion of such nasty things in a government program will lead to customer allocation, and this will go no further. Moreover, there is a huge issue of addiction and social media problem such as fake news, private leaks, which will just increase by the leaps and bounds of your free internet. So, how do you hope to encounter that? Thank you.
Good morning, respected Speaker, Ma'am, and Konnagar present here. I would like to raise questions about education. Students in rural areas don't have access to internet connection, and this has proved to be a hurdle in their careers. And it seems like only the privileged people are the ones with all the advantages, but it should be a constitutional right to have advantages and privileges when it comes to education. The government has also been launching so many online-based educational programs, but hasn't forgotten that without internet connection, these are as good as useless. On behalf of the citizens of India, we claim that internet connection is not a luxury, but a right. During the lockdown situation, so many students could not attend their online classes due to the lack of internet connection. And this might be one of the reasons our country is lagging behind day by day. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Ma'am, and everyone present here. In reference to my argument, I would like to say that we have to think the other side as well. As we want our youth as nation builders, much addiction by our youth, addiction of games, addiction of entertainment platforms, and so on can cause harm in their studies. So moreover, a lack of social interaction within our children will cause harm in their social and mental behavior. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Ma'am, and everyone here. In order to prevent any kind of social disasters like this, we are claiming free internet so that educationists can access these internet and they can teach people the difference between rights and wrongs. When people come across their country and the resources of their country, they can contribute for it, which will lead to the well-being of their own. Therefore, there must be reasons for which people must behave like responsible citizens. It is only possible when people can access internet for searching any kind of information. Therefore, I request the honorable government and the responsible ruling party to make internet free so that it is accessible for all citizens of India. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Ma'am, and all the delegates present here. I would like to say that my friend in opposition is completely forgetting the other part. In democratic countries like India, which is also very large, it is not at all easy to find out if a user uses the internet in a wicked way. The security of the social media users will also be vulnerable because obtaining the data will be easier for the hackers. Thank you.
Good morning, respected Speaker, Ma'am, and everyone present here. I suggest the ruling party to instruct their cybercrime department. In the economic prospect, this will be better for business as customers will spend more money there, online audience will increase, and people will feel more confident to dine alone, which will benefit restaurant business. The ruling party should not only think about their profit which they earn from the taxes they cut for internet services and let the citizens suffer. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Ma'am, and all the members of the Parliament. With reference to the arguments from my friend in the opposition, I completely disagree to what she said. Citizens are always prior to us, and that's why we are not only thinking about the business part. The mental peace and behavioral side is of paramount importance for us. Without mental peace, a country's growth will be seized, and that is the reason why we have already banned few websites in the past.
With free internet, there are of course advantages, but there are many disadvantages too, like addiction, time wasters, trolling, stalking, bullying, and many more. And these are actually enough to destroy a youth generation. Our crime department is always ready to deal with this, but it is also our own responsibility to be safe by our own. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and everyone present in today's assembly. Today, I would like to present my thoughts on the topic on how free internet can be useful. First of all, I would like to say that for free internet, we can communicate more fluently than any other time in the history, as it can be used anywhere and send information to any network. I would also like to state the fact that it can help a company's performance and growth, and it can speed up the business-related works. And about society's degradations, it can be prevented by making various guidelines. And with the increase in accessibility of internet, security should be increased too to prevent any kind of misuse by any chance. Thank you.
Mr. Afi Gupta.
Good morning, respected Speaker ma'am and everyone present here. I just want to say that the ruling party agrees that with the giving of free internet, the businesses and many other benefits will be seen. But what we are wanting to tell is that cybersecurity is still a problem which is getting overlooked. If free internet is given, then the use of internet will increase by 10-fold, and giving proper security to that much usage is nearly impossible, and very less people take our guidelines seriously. Maximum people will just ignore our guidelines, and that will cause a sudden increase in problems like cyberbullying, child and women trafficking, about which the government can't do anything. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker ma'am and everyone present here. It's actually pretty surprising that the ruling party is doing something good for the first time, emphasizing on mental health and social interaction. However, if we were to face something like the past COVID situation, our students in rural areas would be in deep trouble, as arranging for online education and internet for that is too far from what they can afford. So, if the government arranges for free internet with all India coverage, it will be a great benefit to them. And it will also grant the right to education to the students in a much better way. After all, they are our own future. Thank you.
Mr. Louis Roy.
Good morning, respected Speaker ma'am, and to all present here today. I would like to point out the fact that you are only considering a small portion of the entire scenario over here. You are saying that if our students do not get better accessibility to internet, then their studies and education will be hampered. But if you see the other side of it, did you see how many students have already committed suicide and other terrible crimes with help from the internet? The internet both has a good side and a bad side. The good side being better accessibility to knowledge and information, while the bad side being developing bad mental health, attitude and character, etc. And we cannot afford for our next generation to develop such bad traits in them. We have to protect them, and if we really need to do something for the betterment of our citizens, then I suggest we act wisely, not blindly. And besides, accessibility to education was there, is there, and will be there, or else we wouldn't be where we are standing today. That's all. Thank you.
Mr. Arnav.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker ma'am and all present in the House. Correct me if I am wrong, but I believe a program called Digital India was introduced by our government. Well, I'll take this House's silence as an affirmation and continue. Now, a major aspect of Digital India is cashless life, where all transactions are held in online mode. However, our reports clearly state that in rural India, a large population has been opposing digital payments as well as other forms of digitalization, largely due to rising internet charges by private providers, which as it seems is too high above the common man's pockets. Now, if free internet is provided by the government, this will resolve all these issues and take forward this program initiated for the good of our people. Now as I see it, the government doesn't want the betterment of its people at all. Thank you.
Mr. Amit Gupta.
Good morning, respected Speaker ma'am and everyone present here. I just want to say that we always wanted the best for our citizens and we still do. We will give them all the opportunities needed. But when it comes to rural sectors, they are already suffering more from health infrastructure, transport, school development, and we are spending more economical package for that. Yes, we want to digitalize India, and for that we are giving internet at the minimum cost possible. We also have to think about our providers. They are providing an amazing service for the country, but for such decisions, they are facing losses. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker ma'am and my esteemed colleagues. I would like to bring about the fact that USA, a country far more developed than us, has decided to make internet access to be a constitutional right for its citizens. It seems that they are well aware of the fact that internet is an indispensable component in today's world, given the fact that everything is dependent on internet, from bank transferring to even ordering groceries. Moreover, consumers may want to get the information they want from the providers, which becomes a hectic business to manage. Thus, free internet will provide the consumers with true facts. Now, not providing free internet brings up many discrepancies in the governance of our nation. Can the ruling party afford to prevent all those? Thank you.
Please reach out Good morning, all present here, to our respected Speaker ma'am and all the members. Now I would like to present my opinions on the topic. According to Article 27 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everybody has the right freely to participate in the cultural events of the community and to enjoy the art and share in ideas for the scientific advancements and its benefits. But it doesn't declare that all humans should be guaranteed free access to free internet. Though we will try our best to provide the most advantages for the citizens for their benefit as a whole, another side should be seen that there are more needy sectors which are left behind, which are already shattered and need to be more carefully looked on, which are broken into fragments in the community due to the pandemic. Thank you.
Honorable members of the Parliament, I have an announcement to make. On my own behalf of the honorable members of the House, take great pleasure in extending my warm welcome to Her Excellency Ms. Christy Sorkin, the Speaker of the British Parliament, and the honorable members of the British Parliamentary Delegation, who are on a visit to India as honoured guests. The honorable members of the delegation are Ms. Christy Sorkin and Ms. Rosie J. Max. I request you to kindly take your seats. We wish them a happy and a fruitful stay in our country. Also, we convey our warm greetings and best wishes through them to Her Majesty, the Queen of England, the Prime Minister, the British Parliament, the government,